Welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, guys. Drop your crowns and elephants in the chat. We are live on multiple platforms, including TikTok, Twitter, Twitch. We got lots to talk about, guys. Don't forget to share this live on your social media, y'all. Drop those crowns and elephants in the chat. We are talking Queens and Insecure. Shout out to my mod. Shout out to our Team Kempire Royal Court members. Yeah. If you're watching the replay, don't forget you should be dancing too. Bop with me. It's Friday, y'all. What's going on? Shout out to my TikTok fan that's already in the chat. Thank you so much for the roses. Thank you for the likes. Woo! Those beats are smooth. Guys, welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you missed it, I already posted 2 new full-length videos. Be sure to check those out. One is about Jen Shaw and her new documentary. And why in the hell is Meredith Brooks following me now on Twitter? Earlier this week, it was Paris Hilton. Today, it was Meredith Marks. I said Brooks. Meredith Marks following me. I don't know what's happening, but stay away. I'm still going to talk about you guys. I don't care. I don't care if you follow me. You can keep following. I'm still going to talk about you. Brandy follows me and I talk about her too. And we're going to talk about Brandy. If you're just joining us, this is our Queens on ABC and Insecure, which is on HBO Max, recap. We do it every single week. I don't care how many people are watching. I love both shows. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the strengths and the weaknesses of both shows. Even though Insecure is killing it this season, I'm enjoying Insecure. Hold on, y'all. I'm already feeling warm in the room, so let me turn on an additional lighting because you need proper lighting. Data said, Meredith? Oh, no. No, I used to be a musician. That's what it is. Not used to be. I'm still an artist, a singer. I just haven't put anything out recently. I have stuff that I'm sitting on though. Guys, let's just jump right on in. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. Let's talk about Queens. I watched Queens this morning. Some of you said that you haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but if you're watching the replay of this and you've watched it, I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. So I want to talk a little bit about Queens. I'm straight shooter. Y'all know I've interviewed Brandy multiple times. Love Brandy. Love the music that we're getting from Brandy in this series. They're currently still shooting the series. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Here's the thing. And this is why every week I say maybe this show should have been on a cable network so they can really go there when it comes to some of the drama, the language, that type of thing, especially because it's a hip hop influenced dramedy, because there's comedy and drama in this story. It just feels a little forced in certain areas. Nadine's mom stalking her. I thought it was funny when Nadine was like, "Oh my God, I have a stalker." But leading up to it, they could have made it more realistic, a little bit more scary, as opposed to who's that person fiddling with my door and it ends up being my mom. Why would your mom be fiddling with your door? If she was in a car sitting outside the home, I could understand. But I don't know why I could understand that. But I understand that more than someone trying to break into your home that we later find out in the episode is her mom. But I have to say, Nadine is growing on me. She's really, really growing on me. I don't know about anyone else. Her character is growing on me. Maybe it's just me. This episode really was more about Jill, Notori's character, and her finding success now as an artist. You know, before she found success as a group, now she's finding it solo. And that originally was Brandy's character, Naomi. So now the group is like, we're back together, and now you're acting as if this is all about you. And then I already knew it. I called it that Jill's ex-husband, well, soon to be ex-husband, was going to be very obsessed with her. Some of what's going on with Queens, I just wish they would just be a little bit more gradual. Because you know what the show gives me vibes of? Remember Desperate Housewives? It kind of gives me a hip hop version of Desperate Housewives, but they were just more strategic in giving us the information and leading up to it. I don't know what these producers or writers are doing. It just feels a little too much at too soon. At least Eve got her back broken this episode. What was up with that rapper? Like, even the rapper, it felt a little corny to me, a little forced in his whole appeal. I'm like, you couldn't get somebody. How would Eve go? I mean, I guess it makes sense. You know, she went from having the kind of husband that she had to, okay, this is going to be a wham bam thank you man. So it's not going to be the love of her life. But he just felt so corny to me. He felt so corny to me. I don't know. It felt corny to me. I did like the part when she ends up going up to his room. But again, if this was on like a Showtime or Stars, we would have seen them getting it good. I mean, not that I really want to see that. I'm just saying. But there's just something, it's not connecting for me. It's not connecting for me. Data and I both love Brandy, but the ratings this episode dropped from 1.344 to 1.232. And I think, and look, we have to be fair. You know, so many times we say these shows don't get enough promotion. We're promoting it, but ABC did a hell of a job promoting Queens before it debuted. I think people did check it out, and now they're like, this is feeling a little too corny for me. Maybe after this season, they'll get picked up by a cable network because the music is stellar. They have so many incredible people. We got Jadakiss in this episode. We got Jadakiss to make an appearance in this episode. What was up with Jadakiss's hair, though? I mean, at least he got hair. Look, I just was like, damn, you couldn't get a shape up? That's just me. That's just me. Data says Queens debuted at 1.751. And even that is really good. And they had a lot of promo. They've had a lot of promo. I keep saying Brandy needs to come on here and promote it. Brandy, if you're watching, your team is dropping the ball. Just saying. See, I told you everyone can get it. I don't care if you follow me. Everyone can get it. So many people want Brandy to come on here. And look, Notori, come on here. I'm inviting all the ladies to come on here. Those are the only people that I invite. I don't reach out to anyone for interviews. I have not reached out for an interview since I was really promoting for Kempire Radio. I have not, because at the end of the day, you guys come here to watch me. But I know you guys want to hear me do my interviews with some of the folks that I know. I would love for Brandy to be on here, but I can't force Brandy to be on here, and I can't force her team to get her on here. I said it. Is what it is. Danielle says, I love Jadakiss. Jadakiss is a talent. He's incredibly talented. I wish we could have gotten more. But I'm wondering if people like Jadakiss, I know Swiss Beats is doing the music for Queens, but I wonder if like Cameron are the ones writing the raps for people like Brandy, because I know Brandy writes, but she's not, she's not a rapper. So I wonder if they're doing like the writing for the show. I haven't even checked the credits. Calm down over there, Danielle. She said, let's get some interviews going. We will get some interviews, but remember, we are at 53,000 subscribers without interviews. That's no shade, but I'm just saying it was important for me to build my platform with me. That's one of the good, shout out to Wendy Williams. I know Wendy Williams is, ailing right now, but one of the things that Charlamagne the God says that Wendy taught him was that, yeah, you could do all kinds of celebrity interviews and that can build your platform. But at the end of the day, and Wendy would know because there were a lot of celebrities that did not want to do her show. So she had to make the show her and people entertaining enough that people wanted to come see her. So let that be a lesson to anyone that is trying to build a platform, no matter if it's on here, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. People have to be engaged with you. And you can throw in other people in the mix. Watch when we start doing interviews. We're going to blow up. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are, of course, talking about Queens. And the reason why we got into the conversation of doing interviews was because I have reached out for Brandy to be on the platform again. We've interviewed Brandy 5 times. 5 times. So there's no reason why Brandy should not be here. And I don't blame Brandy. Anyways, all right. Ms. Brooks says, hats off to you, Kempire. Know your worth and believe in yourself first. It's so true. But back to this episode of Queens. It was a better episode than last week. Again, I enjoy the music. We got to see, and I can't remember the character's name, and you guys will remind me. She's supposed to be like the new ingenue, the new female rapper, but now because she's right out of I have her picture. Don't I have her picture? Yes, I do. She's right out of rehab and she's already felt like she's fallen off. They bring up Doja Cat so many different times. And I like it because you know what she's giving us? Is it little Uzi Vert that got the little diamond in his head? Well, she gets a unicorn horn in her head in this episode. I said, girl, I love the association with what's really happening in pop culture. Because we all were like, what? He got that right off his top of his head real quick about it was like $6 million or something like that. $6 million? Are you worth that much, Lil Uzi? I don't even know any of his music. Not that I'm that interested. But, I'm liking what they're doing with some of the characters. It just feels like there's a lot of stories happening all at once. And it just feels like too much too soon. Instead of building and just sort of implementing those characters, I think their focus really should have been on, of course, Brandy, Notori, and even Nadine's characters for now, because that's already a lot. But now we're delving into this young girl, which is real. For those up-and-coming artists, especially in music, 1 minute you're the hot thing, and then the next minute you're not. That happens all the time. It's especially for female artists. But I thought it was interesting what she's going through and how Jill the Thrill was not there for her when she came out of rehab. Brandy's story with their manager and the daughter, again, another story that felt a little forced. All right, I'm going to call you Dad. I'm just like, a little too much too soon. Like I understand they're not sure they're going to get a season 2, but let's explore that story. Maybe explore that story this season and then explore Eve losing her husband next season. It just felt too much. Let's just explore the fact that your husband cheated on you and got another woman pregnant. Let's focus on that. And then maybe next season, we have your husband die. Just a thought. At least I would have gave, I forgot his name, the actor. We've seen him in everything. He's been in so many things over the years. The one that played Eve's husband. At least we would have given him more episodes, killed the man off. It just feels a little rushed. And I don't want this to feel rushed because I feel like you have quality actors, quality music. That's the best thing for me for Queens. And I say that every single week. Queens is giving us great music every single week. I just honestly, based on the ratings, I'm not sure if we're going to get a season 2. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully executives and people that produce the show are watching and taking notes. Look, take notes for me. But listen to the people. Listen to what the people are saying. The music is great. We got to slow down with the storylines. Lean into that whole Desperate Housewives lane where they built up the stories. It just feels a little too much. There's so many stories going on. And then, again, the stalker. That really felt like a stalker. Like her bopping around because she had a butt situation. Come on now. It felt bad. It felt cheesy. Why was her mother fiddling with her door? I did laugh though when she went to the door with her knife and then she was like, "I have a stalker?" That was just me. The relationship between I think what they should have focused on this episode. Yes, you would have those little storylines that are involved in the ladies, but that should have been minor. I think they should have really focused on the relationship of the ladies and made that the theme of season 1. Again, I feel like they feel the pressure. They want to get all of these stories out there because so many times a show gets a season 1 and then that's it. And then the story's not finished. I just don't want this to be rushed. It just feels too much too soon. Data says, also wonder how the ratings will do when Eve goes on maternity leave. I mean, I'm hoping that the writing is going to improve. So often we write off so many of these shows too soon. We don't give them an opportunity to build. And I still think it's a quality show. There have been crappy shows on before, but especially like Empire. At least Empire, though, their season 1 was solid. It fell off after season 1. But at least they got better talented singers and rappers in this one. Just saying. It's so interesting, though, because Timbaland produced the music for Empire and Swizz Beatz produces the music for Queens. Sidebar, did you guys watch Verzuz last night? I didn't watch a chapter and verse, but I saw all your comments about Chaka Khan. Shaka, Shaka's had issues over the years. I don't know if that's still the same issue. She's a legend, though. Put some respect on her name. Who do you think won, though? Did Stephanie win? Did Stephanie Mills win by default? Data said his verse is still going. I mean, they were very quiet for a very long time, and then all of a sudden they announced Chaka Khan versus Stephanie Mills. Sheila says her Chaka was a mess. Thinks she's struggling again. We know. Look, I don't know. The Queen Quay says Stephanie won by default, which we saw with Ashanti and Keisha Cole. Everyone says Keisha Cole would have won that hands down, but Keisha Cole's attitude was bad. So it just turned everything off. And it's all about song choice, too. It's all about song choice. Speaking of Keisha Cole, sending condolences to her. She lost her dad. Remember, Frankie died only a couple of months ago? So both her parents are gone. So shout out to Keisha Cole. But Keisha Cole should have won Verzuz, but it was just everything. First of all, they delayed the Verzuz multiple times because Ashanti was here and there and everywhere. All of a sudden, though, she wants to wear masks at her meet and greets. This really should be our music hour talk to talk about R&B, hip hop, and everything like that. We're talking about Queens on ABC and, of course, Insecure on HBO Max. But One of my friends posted a picture of he went to a Shanti concert and she does a meet and greet. At the meet and greet, she's wearing a mask and there's a glass thing between them. So I'm like, why are you wearing a mask? First of all, at these venues, you have to be vaccinated. I'm sure everyone has either been vaccinated or tested. Not to say you need to be hugged up on anybody, but you already got a glass separating you. You can at least take your mask off for the picture. Now you want to wear a mask when you were here and there and everywhere and got COVID and then they had to push back the Verzuz? Okay. I'm sorry. Sheila says Fat Joe versus Ja Rule was great, mainly because of Ja Rule and Ashanti. You know, I didn't watch that chapter and verse either. I'm just a little checked out of Verzuz, to be honest with you. Courtney says Insecure is a bit flat. Thank you, Courtney, for the segue. I'm still watching Queens, but I'm giving Queens maybe 1 or 2 more episodes to see if it improves. Because I feel like Insecure is doing well. Last week's episode was interesting to watch because it was mainly focused on Lawrence, but this week's episode was focused on Nathaniel and Issa. Issa just has a sense of humor to me that is just, it's very like, how do I describe Issa Rae's humor? It's out of the blue. It's not your typical humor. It's almost like English humor. I think some people don't get Issa's humor, but I think Issa is actually just naturally very funny. And we have those moments. So as you know, Issa cried in this man's mouth. She cried in his mouth. So this episode was about them figuring things out. So if you had hopes of Issa and Lawrence getting back together, don't lose hope, because I think Lawrence, because of the baby, will be moving back to town. And now her relationship with Nathaniel will be even Nathaniel. Is his name Nathan? I'll try to make him fancy. I have to say, the beginning of this episode of Insecure, I was just like, I am not a fan of Nate. He seemed like such an F-boy, like he was just out here swinging and ding-a-linging. Erica says, I don't like Nathan. Yes, it's awkward and dry humor, very much like her YouTube series. Can you believe she went from YouTube to this big $1 million deal at HBO now? And I have to say, I'm glad she's ending the show 5 seasons in, because the show has been successful. I feel like so far this season 5, has been good. The second episode, I was like, But last week's episode and this week's episode, because we got Kelly again. We got Kelly last week and we got Kelly this week. You are listening to us, Issa, and I appreciate it. Kelly just comes in with like, oh my gosh, she's the best. Kelly, you are the best. We need something for Kelly. Something. Yes, $300 million deal Issa has with HBO. Well deserved. Are we watching, because I know this is available on HBO Max, the Serena and Venus Williams story starring Will Smith? Are we watching that? I might have some time this weekend. But honestly, I'll tell you guys this. Because you're watching this now, I'm going to let you know. So everybody else that decided, oh, I don't watch Queens, I don't watch Insecure, so I'm not going to watch this, you guys will have the end. I'm going to watch Married at First Sight this weekend. Yep, I switched over. I got me some Lifetime. I'm going to watch Married at First Sight this weekend. I'm doing it. I'm watching it, and we're going to talk about it, because I think it's about to be over. At least if I catch up, then we can at least talk about the season together. Sidebar, y'all. Y'all know I still got my... Hold on. Let me go to the commercial cam. Don't forget, guys, the holidays are right around the corner. Next week, it is Thanksgiving. Don't forget to get your coldest water bottle today. It comes in multiple sizes, multiple colors. So many people have been tagging me, letting me know that they've gotten your coldest water bottle. Keep your water cold for 36 plus hours. You get 10% off when you use the discount code KEMP10. More information is available in the description of this video. And we're back. Oh, I can't. Let me take a sip. Shout out to my mods. So let's get back into this episode of Insecure. If you guys had to rate between 1 and 10, this last episode of Insecure. In the chat, let me know. And if you're watching the replay, let me know how you would rate it. I'm going to say, just because Kelly was in this episode, and I love Issa, Molly was being, Molly is doing what we said she should do. I don't want to see Molly settle down. I want to see Molly have fun. And I love the fact that we're starting to see that Molly and Issa are back to being girlfriends that we know and love. So I'm happy to see that. Just that we don't need them fighting in this last season. They've done enough of that. Okay. Oh, Courtney says 5. We already knew what you were going to say. 7 for Kelly, though. Data says 8 out of 10. Sweet says 6. Molly is growing. Sheila says, I've never seen Insecure. Sheila, well, this is their last season. It's worth getting into it. Season 1 for me was not their strongest, but as I said with Queens, we have to give some of these shows an opportunity to build on these characters. And season 2, season 3, season 4, especially season 4, were really good. And season 5, this is their final season. I'm enjoying it. If I had to rate it between 1 and 10, just because Kelly was in it, I have to give it an 8. I have to give it an 8. It was a solid 8 for me. See, Delsenia agrees. 8. Delta says, I saw an ad for Kings of Napa and definitely will have to check it out. Kings of Napa. You guys always getting me into new shows. Danielle says, Insecure is great to binge. And they're short. They're half-hour episodes. And if you watch on HBO Max, you're not getting commercials or anything. So it's great. Miss Brooks says, Kelly equals 10. Overall, episode 6. Damn. And is that because you guys don't love Nathan? Nathan, I felt bad for in the end because his cousin arrives. And we already know there's some sort of tension going on between the cousin's wife, and when Nathan lived with them. And then he reveals, oh, I was manic when I lived with them. Because I was like, oh, you were just a terrible person staying in their house. Because we all have had someone that stayed with us that were just terrible guests. Just saying. And I thought that was the situation, but no, he reveals he was manic when he was staying with them, but they didn't know. They still don't know. So there's more to Nathan. At the end of it, of course, I felt a little bit more for Nathan. I was just like, oh, that's what was going on. Sidebar, not only did Kelly make the episode for me, the other friend, Nathan's friend, the heavyset guy, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. This is the first time that I recall of him being in the show. He made me laugh too. So did Risha. Risha made me laugh a couple of times because she's just so ditzy. And then her and Kelly having their Super Soul Sunday moment. That I was disappointed that they didn't go to who's the famous guy that their house they were going to? I can't even think of his name right now. I can't think of his name. Y'all will let me know. Bridget says, I don't care for Nathan. I didn't in the beginning. I honestly don't want to see Nathan and Issa together, but I think they're creating the conflict that's going to happen for Issa. Nathan's going to be her boo because at the end of the episode, they're like, I want us to be more than friends. In the beginning of the episode, it was very awkward. Remember, she cried in his mouth and then he left in the middle of the night. And then this is their first time seeing each other since then, and it's awkward. And then she thinks he's screwing Risha, but Risha clarified, oh, no, we're not together. Logan says, Nathan, a.k.a. Prison Bay. They do. I mean, they fall in the same tribe, as they like to say. But I don't know. It's sort of like that whole what you call it, Giselle situation. Just because you got light eyes and fair skin does not make you gorgeous. I was looking at Nathan in this episode. I was like, you look a little rough to me. But anyways. But they do favor each other. Just saying. Miss Brooks says Issa's going to end up pregnant by Nathan when Lawrence finds out the baby is not his. Is that how we're going to end the season? We only got like 6 more episodes. I can't. Logan says it's just the light eyes and fair skin. Yeah, because I don't even think Prison Bay is cute. I think he's not ugly. And I guess because he was in prison, people were like, oh my God, who's this good looking guy who ends up becoming a model? And I remember Nathan from other things. And when he was cast to be on the show, I was like, oh, okay. And then I was here for the Issa and him possible relationship. But the more that we've gotten to know his character, I'm like, I actually like Lawrence more. Lawrence is a little bit more charismatic. There's something about Nathan's character that feels a little. Are you going to go from being a hoe to a boyfriend now? Not to say that he was a hoe. He was a little bit of a hoe, though. Logan says, now Nathan is fine. I mean, I guess I have to have them both in front of me. I'm picturing both their faces, and I'm like, if I had to pick one or the other, because I think of Nathan as the character, Nathan, and we don't really, well, we do know a lot about Prison Bay. Left his wife and kids and had another baby with the heiress, but now he's not with the heiress anymore, but has a kid with the heiress. He secured that bag. But from what I'm hearing, he's a really nice guy. So maybe I pick. No, I don't want to pick. I don't want none of them. I want Lawrence. I know Lawrence. Remember, but Lawrence has been upgraded. Lawrence went from on the couch, unemployed, to Best Buy. Now he's in the startup world. And y'all saw Lawrence's body last week, aka Prison Bay Nathan. He don't look like he. I mean, he has a nice body. He's slim, but what's it? Lawrence is built. Data says Nathan, See, Danielle says Lawrence is hot. Shout out to Jay Ellis. Got a nice body, yada yada yada. How do we get on these people's bodies? Anyways, we're not body shaming Nathan. I'm just saying, if I had to pick one or the other, I probably would pick Lawrence. And not based off of, and even based off of Lawrence's personality, I probably would pick Lawrence over Nate. Nate, for some reason, he gives me F-boy vibes, even though he had some issues with his family, and he said he was manic, and I felt for him at the end of the episode, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Tiffany says, let's face it, Nathan is no Lawrence. Lawrence got good skin. He got good skin. He got a nice body. Daniel says Lawrence is my type, though. I don't have a type. Someone asked me the other day, what's your type? I don't have a type. Cute is my type. And that comes in many different forms and shapes. Just saying. And heights. Not too tall, though. Even though they say never mind. It is too early for this conversation. Logan says, no, who was fine is Daniel. Which one's Daniel? Oh my goodness, I can't remember. Look, I told y'all, I watched Insecure, but I'm not that invested in Insecure until the last season, because my girl Kelly's here. Why did Kelly, when Risha said she almost died, Kelly is like, me too! She really is leaning into the fact that they killed her off at the Stanford reunion. Kelly, you didn't die. Daniel from season 1. Now, remember, I told you season 1 is not my favorite. Now I got to go back and look up Daniel. Studio Bay. Oh, wait a second. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me who he was. Studio Bay. You remember those scenes when they were not knocking the boots? In my TikTok chat, Ivy says, Lawrence always looks so sad, though. He does. He's a sad spirit. But so is Nate. Daniel, though. Now that body, that's a different type of body, though. Like, can we talk? Look, let me switch cameras. Can we talk? All right. Now, Studio Bay had like a built, like he goes to the gym every single day. Lawrence's body is more just like he's a natural swim fit. And Nate's body is more like, I'm just naturally slim. I mean, we haven't really seen it. I'm sure we're going to see it next week. I'm sure they're going to be, screwing next week. But I have to say, Studio Bay seemed like he had more swerve. Is that the right word? Or more je ne sais quoi. Yeah, right? From what I can remember. Oh, sorry. Logan says, I'm short, so it works. A mess. Oh, wait. Dulcinea, hold on. Dulcinea says, Daniel equals hot chocolate. Okay. Lawrence equals chocolate. Nathan equals not white chocolate, light white chocolate. Yeah, see, these are the conversations we can only have amongst ourselves. This is a mess. Data says yes. Studio Bay had me paying his bills. Erica said Lawrence's mouth too wide. Now I'm going to be looking. No, you're right. He does have a wide mouth. He's got that almost Joker smile. Damn. I don't know anymore. Tiffany says you cutting between two carrots is giving. I'm sorry. That's our when we want to talk about people. So we have to go off. Erica says he had edge and swag. Yeah. And this person says, all y'all nasty this afternoon. We haven't said anything. Exactly, Logan. Kitchen table talk. We got a lot of really great things coming to the channel, guys. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe because we have conversations like this later today. I haven't decided on the time because I have appointments today, but we will be recapping Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip episode 4. So you have homework to do. You have time. I'm going to give you some time. Episode 4 is now available. I believe you have to have premium unless you have Comcast Xfinity. Then you should probably have all 4 episodes. Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. They break the fourth wall a lot in this episode. We're going to recap it. You will have an opportunity to call in and share your thoughts as well. That will be later today. Stay tuned. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And if you want additional protection, subscribe to our texting community, TextKempire.com for more details. I'll leave that up so you guys can text me and join the texting community. And if you'd like to become a member of the channel, because we're live on multiple platforms, we're live on TikTok, we're live on YouTube, we're also live on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. But if you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com for more details. All right. So let's round out this episode. As I said to you before, the best part of this episode for me has to be Kelly. Kelly every single week is saving the episode for me. Kelly every week is saving the episode for me. Erica says Daniel had BDE, big energy. That's all we love and hate. If you guys are watching the replay of this, I want to know if you're still checked in with Queens on ABC. What are your thoughts on the latest episodes of Queens and your thoughts on the latest episode of Insecure? I enjoyed this latest episode of Queens. I still feel like there's some work that needs to be done in tweaking. From what I hear, they're still filming episodes, so we're still going to get more content from Queens. Watch it, guys. Watch it within the first 24 hours because that is what is included in the ratings, okay? Insecure, still so good. I can't believe we went on a rant about season 1 Studio Bay and who we would prefer. I want to know from you guys in the replay. Between Studio Bay, Daniel, Lawrence, and Nate, who would you choose? Let's talk about it in the comments section. Shout out to everyone that was a part of the conversation this afternoon. Again, we will be live later today recapping Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Stay tuned for the official time. Just trying to figure out when I can do it. But we're going to talk all about it. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. So subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And sidebar, the dislike button is still there. I know people misconstrue. You didn't misconstrue. I said the wrong thing. The dislike button is still there. However, the count of the amount of dislikes is gone. So we don't know. I believe in studio, I could probably see how many dislikes. But our game of guessing who disliked the video is gone. And the reason why we hear YouTube is getting rid of it is because of bullying online. And some of you are very like, what? People are too sensitive. Well, to be honest with you, you've seen it if you've been part of my channel. We haven't even gone live and there will be someone that's disliked the video. They haven't even seen the video. and they've disliked it. So there are people on social media that are using and weaponizing dislikes to affect people. And some people are affected by it. We've made a game of it here on the channel, but there are people that feel sensitive about someone disliking their video. They might get rid of the whole dislike and like altogether. Excuse me. Let me take a sip. Okay. Robert points out, has anyone watched the misadventures of Awkward Black Girl? So funny. Live for Issa Rae. That's how it all started for her, right here on YouTube. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Joanna says, I'll take Andrew. He's really sexy too. You guys are a mess. Delsenia says, Daniel for me, Nathan for Issa. You know what, Delsenia. Oh, and we really didn't talk about Molly in this episode. Molly, I'm happy that Molly's playing the field. I don't need Molly to settle down. Molly's playing the field. Her nene is ready. Or her nani's ready. I said her nene. Her nene too. Kitty Baby says, yes, Andrew. Y'all are a mess right now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here for our quick recap of Queens on ABC and Insecure on HBO Max. Be sure to support both of these fabulous shows that we've been recapping here on a weekly basis, and stay tuned for our next week's recap, but also stay tuned for our recap of the Real Housewives All-Stars, aka Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And if you missed the 2 videos that are already posted today, be sure to check those out. One story is about Nene slashing the price of her Georgia mansion, and the other story is about Jen Shaw and the documentary. And did she really did she really get flagged by Louis Vuitton? Be sure to check out those videos. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to everyone that has been here and a part of the conversation. Let's continue the conversation in the comment section. Thank you all. I'll see you later. Bye.